Hi everyone, this is the Powerpiint Sabbath lesson, lesson 9, rebuilding the temple. Our PowerPoint is 1 Chronicles 28 verse 10, which says, "Consider now, for the Lord has chosen you to build him a house as to a sanctuary. Be strong and do the work." Our PowerPoint is, we can worship God even when we are disturbed. Now think of a time that you're excited and someone slowed you down. How did you deal with that person? This lesson will help us to learn of how the Israelites were able to build the temple even when they were being slowed down. The foundation of the temple had been laid. Now the building could begin. Nearby, the Samaritans came to Zerubbabel and the men of the houses and asked to build the temple with them. They said, "Let us build the temple with you, because we seek your God as you do." Zerubbabel and the other leaders answered the Samaritans, telling them that they were supposed to do nothing to help them because Cyrus had commanded them to build the temple, and they knew the insincerity of this call to help. The Samaritans hired counselors to frustrate the Israelites' purpose from the days of Cyrus to the day of Darius, king of Persia. The Samaritans wrote to Artaxerxes telling him that the Jews were building an evil city and that if they finished rebuilding it, he would not have dominion beyond the river. The king replied and commanded them to cease the rebuilding of the temple until another command was sent. So the building of the temple was ceased until the second year of the reign of King Darius of Persia. Then Zerubbabel decided to continue the rebuilding of the temple. The priests were there encouraging him. We see how Satan here tried to stop them from rebuilding the temple, but they continued rebuilding the temple. Then Tatanai the governor came. He saw that they were continuing the rebuilding of the temple. He asked them who commanded them to rebuild the temple. Tatanai wrote a letter to the king asking if these people were supposed to continue the rebuilding of the temple. And the king checked in the records and wrote back to Tatanai telling him that he and his companions beyond the river were not supposed to interfere in anything of building the Lord's house. Instead, they're supposed to support the Israelites by giving them the articles of gold and silver that were needed, and also anything else that they would need in the rebuilding of the temple. So the building's expenses were going to be paid by the king from the taxes that were being given by the people beyond the river. After the temple was rebuilt, they dedicated it to God, and they celebrated Passover with the people who had separated themselves to do the service of God. They also celebrated the Feast of Unleavened Bread. They celebrated it with joy, knowing that the Lord was with them. The key takeaways I got from this lesson are: we can worship God even when we are discouraged. We also learned that we should learn to respond by perseverance in God's strength in times of discouragement. Lastly, God can turn our discouragements into our own victories. Thank you for listening, and may God be with you. Goodbye.